Saturday the 3rd of May 2025. Just sat here 18:25, 6:25 p.m. and just sat here thinking, sometimes on my social media, I post my TikToks to Instagram Reels. Then sometimes a lot of the times I'll get people unfollowing me. I just thought, good, I'm happy. Because if someone's unfollowing me, number one must have people fall off and dislike him to get somewhere. No one big has ever had everyone loving them. You need to be polarized and you need to have haters and lovers. And I'm not even saying that people unfollowing me are haters, but if people are unfollowing you, that normally means you're doing something right. And then I said, another version of me said, if I was to sit across that person who unfollowed me, do you think they could? Sorry about that. That was an important message I had to pertinently reply to. If I was to sit across that person, whoever unfollowed me, I'd sit across them. Now, I'm assuming it's a guy. If it's a female, I doubt that. The females fancy me. They smell my brilliance through the screen. But if a guy was to sit across me, that guy who unfollowed me, I would destroy him intellectually. There ain't a thing me and this guy could talk about. There's not a thing me and this guy could talk about. I would never physically touch a guy and fight them, never. I'm not doing that. But if I was to sit across this guy, I would fucking destroy him in every topic, everything. We couldn't even talk. Imagine we went onto the news and it's me and this guy sitting across each other and we're just both talking. Maybe someone's throwing us topics, or maybe we are just talking to each other in terms of life, esoterical subjects. He couldn't even fucking conceptualize what I would tell him. Of course he's gonna unfollow me and do these things. Of course. He couldn't even comprehend my vast knowledge and experience. He couldn't even fathom it. So, yeah. There was another person who previously commented on my TikTok. A negative sentence he gave me. Again, if I was to sit across the table, me and him, he would truly, it wouldn't even be a competition. Imagine that was on TV, me sitting across him, the hater. But he would make a fool of himself. He would make a fool of himself. So yeah, this is it. The real Arthur M. Also transition to what happened when I lived in the end for 6 months. Every day, immersed my whole thoughts, my whole consciousness. Now, what happened when I lived in the end for 6 months till today? I started living in the end on the 12th of October 2024. Now, bear in mind, this is when I stepped into the spiritual realm. Because before October the 12th, I had done years of actual work in the third dimension, in this matter, this world we see. So for me to just tell someone, yeah, just live in the end, it wouldn't sit right with me saying that, because yes, I lived in the end, but I also backed this up with years of perpetual, onerous, very hard, concentrated work in, you know, cause and effect, grind mode, monk mode, whatever you want to call it. But this is what happened when I lived in the end for 6 months. I got to the point of where I'd done so much fucking work. Like, I'd been kicking, banging at the door of it, or I'm just immersing everything, I'm putting my whole life into something. I'd been doing that for years, literal years. And I started living in the end. So I decided, I said, cool. You see, in these YouTube videos, week 17 is when I started it. When I came across Neville Goddard. And when I heard him saying, basically, act as if it's now. Stop putting things into the future. Don't say, oh, I'm gonna be rich. No, I am already rich. Because what are you waiting for? You know, when you say things like, oh, I'm going to be rich, you're telling your subconscious, your mind, that you're not rich yet. You need to act as if it's all now. Why are you waiting? No patience. Don't have patience in this regard. In terms of, don't wait for something. Act now. So I started living in the end. I started going to my park every single morning. Every morning I'd go to my park. And what I would do is I'd just speak out. I'd speak out to the trees, to the grass, to the nature, because we're all one. We are nature. Nature is us. There's nothing, you know, it's not outside of us. The same energy that runs through our bodies, that makes our heart beat, that does our digestion for us, is the same energy that makes grass grow, makes trees grow. It's the same thing. So every day I'm going to the park, I am speaking out loud. I'm saying all of my biggest desires as if it's now. I'm thanking for them. I'm showing gratitude. And I also developed something with a very lovely tool, a candle. My candle's on right now. Let me show you. See this? My candle. I'd speak into my candle. I didn't have a set time I'd do it, but I'd speak into my candle. And also, when you are living in the end and you're letting go, you're not doing anything. You are you're just flowing. For example, if you sit on a beach with no devices and you keep affirming wealth to yourself, but you're sitting on a beach and you're literally not doing anything, I don't believe anything will happen. Now, I haven't tried this, so I don't want to fully refute it, but I don't believe that will do anything for you. It's not about not doing anything, it's about letting go, because your amazing subconscious mind will make you do all the things you need to do automatically. You don't have to think, you'll do it automatically. I lived in the end so much. Guess what happened after 6 months? I lived in the end so much, so intentionally. My end state is now my reality. What I wanted is now my real. It's now my real. I lived in the end so much. My reality is literally what I was trying to achieve. Literally. So now if you go through my videos, I did some big things. I acted as if it was all now, but I went extreme. I didn't just act, I went extreme with it. Just got my tea, no sugar. So what did I do? What was the first thing I did? I literally, when I conceptualize and hear a video, I can't just watch a video. When I read a book, I have to implement. That's just how I am. That's how I operate. I'm fierce, I'm expeditious, I'm indefatigable. If that's the word. I know indefatigability is, but indefatigable. Anyways, that just means relentless. So now, I invited builders around my house. I had builders in my fucking house. I'm talking about refurbishing my home. There's a builder. I'm literally talking to the builder. It's in my video. I don't know what week it was in. I'm literally talking to the builder. There's no money in my bank. I'm just talking to the builder with straight conviction. I'm not acting. This is real. I'm talking to him about the refurbishing. I'm asking him questions. He's saying, when are you ready? I'm saying, nah, I'm ready now. I'm just, want to get some different builders to come around, hear some ideas. I'm literally in the home with my builder, walking around the house, telling him the things I want. So I'm like, yeah, so you see this bathroom, would you be able to extend it, or would I need to get in touch with the council, because obviously we don't own this house? And proper conversations with the builder. He's literally with the builder. His name was Tony. Big up Tony. He's actually a good builder. The only reason I haven't used him or won't use him is because I'm gonna be moving. House, so we won't need him. And another thing I did, I reached out to loads of landscapers for my garden. So I'm literally talking to them, I'm sending them pictures, I'm talking to these landscapers properly. We are talking, sending them pictures, going back and forth and telling them exactly what I want, detailed stuff. This wasn't just me come round builder. No, I had detailed things of what I wanted. I knew how I wanted certain things. Like I said to the landscaper, would you be able to engrave this symbol and these initials here? I was very specific and detailed. You have to be specific in what you want in this life. If you don't, you're never gonna, well, you can, but you'll get there slower, and you need your goals to be clear. You don't want ambiguity. I learned that at 16 when I was listening to Think and Grow Rich. You need detailed, specific things you want. And so another thing I did is I went to showrooms, cars. But I wasn't just looking at cars. I walked up to the salesperson. I said, if I buy cash right now, do I get an incentive, or what do I get? I'm buying cash right now. It's all now. And I'm talking to the salespeople with conviction. I'm not, in my heart and my mind, I don't feel like I'm lying, because I'm not. This is where the part of me working on myself for years before most likely came into play. Because I've immersed my mind in this kind of already, when I'm talking to this salesperson, I'm saying, if I buy cash right now, do I get an incentive? What do I get? It's not like I'm faking it. It's like it's real. I actually truly believe that. So I'm in the car, I'm sitting in the car, I'm looking at the steering wheel, I'm indulging in it, I'm taking it all in. And then, so that was one showroom. That was like a Land Rover, Range Rover. And I also viewed penthouses. That was life-changing. I've never been in a penthouse like that. I viewed penthouses, and I didn't just view them. I was with the estate agent, and I'm properly, in fact, I can put in some clips of it. I'm in the fucking I'm in the penthouse.
So alongside this one, I've got another unit on the literally next door, actually. So I can show you that one as well.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So I'm in the penthouse and the agent's walking me around and I'm talking to him properly. I'm not, what, you think I'm just looking? I'm fucking moving in now. I'm ready now. Even though my bank account says there's 0, I'm moving now. I'm going now. So when he asked me, when you ready? I said, I'm ready now. I'm just exploring my options. You know, I'm thinking what I want to do, if I want to move abroad or if that's how I'm operating. I'm not acting in my mind, no. I'm looking around this beautiful penthouse, looking around, he's asking him real questions. I'm saying to him, you know, would the landlord be alright with me paying 6 months up front or a year up front? And he's like, yeah, that'll be good, you know. They like things like that, especially when you're, you know, doing business and you don't have you might not have basically your track record, that type of stuff. When you're self-employed, your credit is a bit different. You're more perceived as risky. Unless obviously you're fully established for years. So they're the things I did. And also, whilst I'm doing all of this, I'm still operating. I'm still on the charts. But I've changed. I'm no longer trying to strive for something. But I'm taking subconscious aligned action. So I'm naturally doing things. And I think about 12 weeks, actually, sorry, not 12 weeks. About 4 weeks in, 4 to 8 weeks in, about 8 weeks in, I came up to a huge shift, which is also in my videos. I came up to a huge shift in about November. And I just knew. That was my click. That was a missing piece all of these years. So I came up to this huge shift and it was just basically having more of a macro view. So then cool, I've had this shift. I know something's clicked. And then I started playing trades with this, you know, new frame. And I started seeing them playing out and I was thinking, fuck, this is crazy. So then basically I became profitable. So I'm trading. Obviously it wasn't that straightforward, but essentially that's what happened. I became profitable. But that gave me a 49% win rate. About 49% win rate. And I knew that wasn't it. I knew that was not it. But I'd now found something. I'd found some foundational things that I can now build on. So this is the foundation I found. I now knew I can build on this foundation. So I knew I could get to a 70 to 80% win rate. I knew it. Because I knew 50% was not it, no. I knew I could get 70, 80, even 70 is low. I knew I could get 75, 80. So then, by the way, during that 49% win rate, I'm making some money. It's not life-changing, but I'm making money, I'm withdrawing. I was making some nice money. I'm making withdrawals, I bought a jacket, I bought some nice boxers, I bought a weight set. It's like, wow, I was like, wow. I was making some money, but I knew it was not the desired, it wasn't mastery yet. Then, basically, I went on a losing streak. But it wasn't even a losing streak. It was like it was telling me, this is not it. So then I knew, cool, I have to get to the next step. But I'm still living in the end. So what did I do? I just went within more. I just kept going within. Kept talking into my candle. You know, I'm not going to my visualization spot every single morning because my soul was telling me I don't really need to do this anymore. Once I hit the first part of profitability. But I was still going to the park more sporadically, occasionally. Still going within, I'm still letting go, but I adjust my leverage, my risk, sorry. So I've never blown an account, ever. In my whole side note, in my whole 4 years of trading, I've never blown an account, and I never will, because I understand risk management and I understood it at the very start. So now I went on for a whole month, I went on a losing streak, I guess. But it wasn't really a losing streak. It was rearrangements in my direction for my favor. I installed the belief of, number one, everything happens for me. And number two, losses are not losses, they are rearrangements for you. So I'm operating with this. Is it frustrating? Of course. Imagine you've started making money. You're making some money, you're withdrawing. But then now you've fucking gone to this new stage of, what the fuck? I went through 40 days of losing trades. No money. No fucking money. 40 days and 40 trades. It was 40 days. I don't know how many trades, but 40 days, I basically trade every day. So 40 days of that. Losers. Did doubt ever creep in? Doubt didn't creep in, no, because I had found this foundation and I understood, cool, I need to move from this 50% win rate to 70, 80. I understood, right, that means my actions have to change. Because your inputs create your outputs, aka the results I want are going to require different actions. So I knew that something would have to happen. I knew something in the way I'm operating, my actions, they would have to change, or the fucking end result, which is the win rate I'm trying to change, will not change. So doubt didn't ever creep in, but I'll tell you what did fucking definitely creep in. Frustration. Now, it's different when you're making, let's say someone has a job. They're making money. Yeah. They're already making money. So, yeah, they might be trying to work on a business, but they're in a job, they make money. My situation was a bit fucking different. My situation is there's no money. There's no job. There is no side hustle. Fucking side hustle. It's business or nothing. Forget get rich, die trying. There was no trying in my situation. It was get rich. No trying in the equation. It was business or nothing. Now, that can either break some people or create some people. And in my situation, I guess I operate well under pressure. I'm used to pressure. I'm used to the brain surgeons coming in my room talking about going into my brain. So I operate under pressure. I'm fine. Pressure makes diamonds. Did they not say that? So now after that 40 losers, I basically started noticing something. I started noticing my edge. As in, I started now creating an edge and noticing I'm looking at the charts and I'm noticing patterns. I'm saying, fuck, look how this keeps doing this. The same things kept happening, and by the way, I'm still living in the end, but I'm not even having to be so conscious of my, rituals or visualizations. I wouldn't fucking visualize every day at a certain time. It's more just me now. Like, naturally, I look in the mirror, I thank for all of my desires as if I have them all. And now I've started noticing this edge play out. Not even play out, I'm starting to develop this edge. And then I started looking and thinking, fuck, I see something here, I see something. And then, do you know what's amazing? Fast forward to today. I have hit mastery. The way I fucking read these markets is literally like a book. It's like I'm just reading a book. I changed my internal state. I lived in the end so much that I didn't have to do anything. Like, I didn't do anything for this process in terms of I changed my internal being. So that created all the change outside of me automatically. I lived in the end and didn't do anything. I let go for so long that my reality became my end. My fucking living in the end became my end. And that is the position I reached last week. Wow. So, now the gap between me now and the money, it's actually a matter of time, not skill. And you know, when you're living in the end, you know, space and time is an illusion. However, time for me right now is actually apparent. It's just a case of me executing. When I developed this strategy a few weeks ago, it's still in all of these videos, my weekly videos. I thought, okay, cool, I've got my strategy now. Now, let me just kind of structure it a bit more. But that right there, that was the wrong thing. I was thinking with my scientific mind. Like, cool, we've got the strategy, cool, let me just structure it a bit and I tried to think too much about it. But no, that's not how this works. Because the same flow that showed me this strategy is the same flow that gets me to where I want to get to. So me trying to structure things actually took me off flow. That took me off of flow. I had to just do nothing because I am not I'm profitable trader. I am profit. I am profitable. There's a difference there. I am the guy who is profit. I am profitable. I'm not, I'm a profitable trader. No. I actually became it because I changed my internal. And if you change your internal state, your outer reality must conform. This is law. This is not belief. This is law. And that is what happened when I lived in the end for 6 months. I never attached a time onto it because, as I just said, my situation was business or nothing. So there was no time. Frustration kicked in, but I'd manage it well. Put some music on, go to the park. But yeah, frustration definitely did kick in. But you know, now we are here. Mastery. Can read the markets like a fucking book. High win rates. Very high win rate. What I'm working on now is about a 76 to 86% win rate. Potentially even 95% win rate. Yeah. Time is now just playing out everything in my life in terms of business. In fact, in terms of all areas, but everything is just playing out. I was checking out a lot of high-end stuff. I'm gonna put it all in, you know, the showrooms, the houses, everything. I'm gonna put it all in right now. But I wasn't just doing it frivolously. I wasn't just going to these places, no. I deeply was there looking to buy and buying and moving. I was not just in these places. I was talking to the salespeople. Legitimately, I am trying to buy. I'm looking to buy. I'm not just in here, no. Back on. Be like, fuck, look what I'm in now.
I'm going to show you all the way down. So that's the downstairs one. Is where you're going to find the majority of the entertainment spaces, gym.
Among all these cars, yeah, I'm buying, not looking, I'm buying. I don't like normal colours like black, I prefer a bright flamboyant colour.
So nice. Is it for like if you're in Italy, I don't know. It's a nice holiday.
I did all of this stuff literally right up until last month. I was doing these things. Touch it. Dan Pena says smell it. And that is basically how I lived in the end for 6 months. And my end state, what I was living in the end of, became my now, became my reality. Living in the end is not something you do, it's a lifestyle, it's something you become. You don't just do it and then, oh, let me stop. No, that's how you have to be operating day to day, forever. Don't change, become.